Hello, I'm Carol Peters. I'm president of West Meadowbrook Neighborhood Association, and this is another episode of Eastside Stories. Today we're going to be talking to Joel McElhany, who is the Capital Programs Manager with the City of Fort Worth Parks and Recreation Department. We are here on Oakland Lake Park, which is now a project that Joel is managing. So I'd like to start first and let Joel explain a little bit about what he does and what his role is with the city.
Hi, thank you. So I manage the capital program for the Park and Recreation Department. That means planning out capital projects. Capital is anything built in a park, anything built that becomes an asset to the city, like playgrounds, picnic shelters, trails, that sort of thing. And also gets into some land acquisition as well. So when we expand parks, or add new parks. I manage a group of 6 project managers. One of them's off camera here today. And so we have 6 project managers that are assigned to multiple projects that see these projects all the way from design through the construction and completion.
Thank you. What is the issue with the park, the Oakland Lake, and the dam and the lake itself? I know that there are some issues that have developed over time. Just kind of walk us through what's happened.
Okay. Yes, the dam itself here on the north side of the lake is really what the issue is. So the Texas Commission of Environmental Quality, or TCEQ, does an inspection of dams every year. So this dam's been inspected every year. And there was findings. So there was some deficiencies in the dam and the spillway of the dam, and regarding vegetation growth on the dam and some different things. So there were some deficiencies they identify, and then us as the local government or the owner of the dam have to address those issues. So we hired an engineering consultant that specializes in dam design, and that engineering firm then reviews the TCEQ report and comes out and actually does survey and does inspection as well. And then they come up with a plan of how we can address those deficiencies. And the plan includes replacing the spillway and vegetation removal and armoring of the slope. And so they come up with a plan and a cost estimate, and then we move forward then with construction based on final design documents.
Is this just a function of time?
Yes.
It's just age that's causing this problem?
Yeah, all dams need maintenance, day-to-day maintenance, but sometimes the little day-to-day maintenance or annual maintenance becomes bigger. And in this case, just wear, erosion, rainfall, that sort of thing, just degrades the spillway, and it just needs, it becomes a capital project then at that point. It's beyond just maintenance, it actually becomes a project.
And I just want to, everyone who's watching this video probably knows where Oakland Lake Park is, but it is located on the east side of Fort Worth, off of Lakeshore Drive. And it's one of the more beautiful parks in the city, and very well used. One of the issues that is giving a lot of angst to our members and residents of the neighborhood is not having their loop to walk, and that is because the dam is unstable, or you're working on it. Is that correct?
That's correct. So, and really more specifically than the dam itself, it was the spillway. So there was a bridge that actually crossed the spillway, and now the dam, we discussed there's deficiencies. There's an annual inspection by TCEQ. Our engineer came out, looked at it. If we continued to neglect that, it could become a danger, a dangerous issue. Right now, it's not an imminent threat. What was a health safety concern, though, was that bridge that crossed the spillway. That was heavily eroded on each side of it. So we removed that bridge just because that was an immediate health risk there. So we removed that. That will be replaced with the reconstruction of the spillway and the improvements of the dam itself. It won't be a bridge. If you want to get kind of technical and engineering talk, there's going to be about, I think it's 3 culverts that make up the spillway, and and the walk goes along the top of the culverts. There'll be a handrail. For all intents and purposes, it's a bridge.
Mm-hmm.
The walk will continue. It'll go across the top of the dam and across the spillway, and so that loop trail will be returned back to the public. So
great. What is the time frame for this project? I know we're kind of in the preliminary stages.
Yeah, our engineer is actually hired to. We have 2 dam projects that we're doing in one consultant package, and we'll do them in one construction package. This one over on the east side of Fort Worth, and Lake Como on the west side of Fort Worth. So the engineer completed their assessment of both dams and made their recommendations. We amended their design contract to do final design bidding documents for the improvements, and we'll put that out to bid. Construction scheduled to start in June. What we always want to do on these types of projects is target kind of a dry season. Whenever we deal with water or getting close to water, we want to do it when there's the lowest chance of rainfall, like a Texas summer. So that's when we intend to start June, late June, maybe July there.
And completion would be when?
Oh, I think this is a 6-month project, for both of these, so it would be
more
into
or
the
less.
fall.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Everything goes as planned. It's a 6-month project.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, well that's pretty fast, really.
Yeah.
What other repairs or improvements need to be made to the lake and mainly the lake? I saw some exchanges between you and some interested parties from the community about what needs to be done to the lake long term.
Yeah, so lakes, like our urban lakes here, just standard maintenance is dredging over time. They need to be dredged. But we do have multiple lakes in the city. Oakland Lake, I mentioned Lake Como. We have smaller ponds and just throughout the entire park system. What staff have recommended is that we include funding for dredging in the future bond program. And right now the city is looking at a 2022 bond program. We've made the recommendation that be included. Of course, there's a vetting process. All city departments make their recommended projects, from police to fire to libraries and parks. We all make our recommendations of projects that would be included in a future bond program. So those have to all be reviewed and prioritized. There will be a series of public meetings. We always encourage people to attend public meetings. They're held in every council district of the city, so we really spread them around. Our last 2 bond programs that I've been associated with, 2018 and 2014, we had about 30 public meetings held throughout the city. And so just recommend people come out to those meetings and provide input on projects that they believe are important and should be included.
So as a neighborhood, we should be looking for opportunities to let our city council member know that we want dredging to be included in the lake. Included in the bond program.
You could reach out to your council member, but at those meetings, that's really the opportunity. You have your comments recorded, and they're noted. We have a communications department in the city that provides a summary of all the public input we received. In addition to I had mentioned the public meetings, but there's usually other opportunities to provide input as well. There's cards that you can fill out at the meeting. There's in the past there's been opportunities to provide input through the web or the internet.
One thing I forgot to ask you about is the lake tends to have a lot of algae, and the aerator has just gone kaput, I guess. It doesn't work anymore.
Okay.
Will the aerator be replaced in this next construction you're working on, or is that something that's...
Not in the current project. That's something I can look into as far as what the status of it is. We talk about the dredging. Sometimes if they become so silted in, the aerators just get clogged up and they don't work anymore. So
we need that before we replace any kind of equipment.
Typically, but I can check into that with
Great.
Our staff. Yeah.
Well, I really appreciate it. Thank you. And thank you all for listening. And if you have an opportunity, if you'd like to leave comments underneath the video, we'll pass those on to Joel and he can respond.